Now available for the first time in paperback. Stop Simping in the Workplace. Men, learn what you need to know in order to protect your job from workplace predators with Stop Simping in the Workplace. Available in paperback at online booksellers everywhere. A doctoral student allegedly shot and killed his faculty advisor at the University of North Carolina.
And now to this breaking news. A suspect is in custody tonight after chaos on the campus of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. A faculty member was shot and killed, locking down the school and forcing terrified students and faculty to barricade themselves inside dorm rooms and classrooms for hours. Here's CBS's Jeff Pegues.
Possible active shooter on campus.
In a massive show of force, police at the University of North Carolina swarmed the campus. The alert went out, first of a person armed and dangerous, and then
the gunshot victim is going to be in room 159.
I'm grieved to report that one of our faculty members was killed in this shooting.
Tense moments in a lockdown that lasted hours. The silence punctuated by police helicopters and chimes from the campus bell tower. Officers began evacuating buildings, several groups at a time.
I heard one gunshot, and then I've been hearing like sirens and all of that.
We all very quickly, jumped up out of our seats to get against the wall so that we weren't, in plain sight.
UNC police released this photo of the suspect.
Asian male, graduate student wearing a gray shirt, armed with a 9mm.
Finally, the all clear as police made an arrest. But amid the relief, there's anger.
Something needs to be done so we can come to school safely. This is just really unacceptable to me.
CBS News confirmed that the suspect taken into custody is from China, but because it's still early in the investigation, we don't know the motive for the shooting, but at this point, it does not appear to be a random attack. Nora.
Jeff Pegues, thank you.
Now, in this alleged incident, Tailei Qi allegedly came down to the University of North Carolina and wound up shooting and killing his faculty advisor, Zi Yan. Now, according to reports, Tailei Qi presented issues about work and bullies on social media before participating in this alleged murder. Now, the police are seeing this as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of the alleged behaviors of Tailei Qi, they fit the pattern and profile for beta males that I talk about in my book, The Man Crisis. And it's clear to me that Tailei Qi definitely fits the pattern and profile for several chapters in my book, The Man Crisis, including the chapter about incels and the man crisis. Now, with Tailei Qi, it's looking to me that he was one of these beta males who was very book smart. Unfortunately, he lacked people skills, and he also lacked male life skills as well. Now, the big problem with a lot of beta males who are very intellectual is they're very good at working with books and good at concepts that are in books. Unfortunately, these men lack the skills in order to function as related to social situations, and because these men lack the skills to be able to navigate social situations, what happens is these men wind up becoming extremely triggered very easily. They wind up becoming extremely frustrated, and they wind up seething and simmering in anger because many of these men do not have the male life skills or male survival skills in order to know how to go out here and conflict resolve and problem solve. And that's a great irony, is because these men, again, like Tailei Qi, are very intelligent, and they'll study all sorts of concepts like machine learning. Unfortunately, they never learn how to work around people, and that looks like the big problem he had with Zi Yan. He had a big problem with his faculty advisor because he never really knew how to work around people. And it looks like to me that Tailei Qi possibly thought he was being bullied, And he really didn't understand how to conflict resolve the way a man knows how to do, because that's all part of the basics of male life skills and male survival skills. A man has to go out here and know how to conflict resolve with another man. Unfortunately, with many beta males do not know how to go out here and conflict resolve with another man. And what happens with these men, because these men do not know how to navigate through their emotions, what happens is these men just suppress all of their feelings. And as they suppress their feelings of anger, these men will be sitting there seething and simmering and boiling in anger over what they believe to be slights. And they'll be sitting there steaming in anger, not ever expressing their issues with that individual. No, what these guys do is they try to go over the heads of those individuals and try to go out here and get somebody else to resolve their conflicts. But when it comes to men, they have to go out here and we have to solve our own problems by going to another man face to face and letting him know where their boundaries are regarding who we are. That's something a beta male does not know how to do. And because beta males don't know how to do this, what beta males do is they wind up seething in this anger, simmering and boiling in this anger until they eventually wind up exploding in a rage. Now, with Tai Lei Chi, it's looking to me like he had, again, this issue with being able to confront his faculty advisor about certain issues, and because he didn't confront him about these issues, he wound up becoming extremely angry. This is par for the course with beta males, because many beta males do not really know how to function around male authority figures, and they don't know how to function around males in leadership positions. And whenever they run into a male authority figure and a male leader in a position, many of these men just wind up falling completely apart, because when they see a male authority figure, these men become extremely insecure, they become extremely uncomfortable, and they don't know how to function around a male authority figure. And that's what it looks like happened here with Tai Lei Chi. He really, when he ran into another Asian male authority figure, this is where he possibly became uncomfortable. Now, this is me speculating, but I believe when he was out here with his other degree programs, he was possibly dealing with white male authority figures, so he had no problem with the white male authority figure. But when he got in front of another Asian male, I believe what happened was he started to become jealous of this Asian male being in a position of power. He got jealous of this Asian male being in a position of authority. He got jealous of this Asian male having power like a man. And because he was feeling insecure and feeling inadequate about himself, being in the presence of another Asian male with power, this is where his jealousy started to kick in. And this is where he started to go out here and imagine slights from this Asian man who possibly had a bit more confidence and a bit more emotional security than him. And because this Asian man had a lot more confidence and a lot more emotional security, this made him insecure, and it made it where he was thinking that this guy was some possible bully on the job, because he was just a, again, faculty advisor as related to the doctoral program, and he didn't understand that as a man, he had power as well in that position. He could have gone out here and did a little bit of pushback like many men do in situations to establish boundaries for their relationship, but because he's a beta male, he thinks he has to go out here and submit. And again, he's used to submitting to female authority figures or white male authority figures. So he basically was uncomfortable in the presence of this Asian man who had power. And because he was uncomfortable about this Asian man having power, this is what possibly led to him becoming so angry and seething in so much anger to the point where he basically exploded in this rage. And as he exploded in this rage, this is what motivated Tai Lei-Chi to go down to the campus where he worked with a 9mm handgun and take that 9mm handgun and allegedly look to shoot and kill Ziyan. Now, after killing Ziyan, this is where Tai Lei-Chi came out of his rose-colored reality where he believed that he was going to get revenge against this man who had did all of these slights, and that's where he's dealing with the consequences of real life, because he's no longer a doctoral student at this point. No, he's an inmate in an orange jumpsuit, and instead of him studying machine learning, he's going to be learning all about prison life if he's convicted, and he's going to be learning all about guys like Bubba, Tiny, Roscoe, Big Dave, Melvin, Mr. Sprinkles, and Rodney, who are going to be teaching him all about the whole concept of spit roast as they trade his booty for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light, packets of Taster's Choice cup coffee, snack pack puddings, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand lemon cookies, off-brand chocolate chip cookies, Fritos chips, packs of gumballs. I mean, he's gonna be learning a whole lot of different lessons in that penitentiary if he's convicted. And in the worst case scenario, he's not gonna have to deal with the death penalty, because the prosecutors in this case say that they don't want to pursue that as related to this crime, which shows me that the prosecutors are a bit racist, because if this were a black guy, they would have possibly pursued the death penalty, but because this is an Asian guy, they're going to give him a pass, which makes me again wonder about the biases as related to our criminal justice system. But this whole situation really shows me how much worse the man crisis is getting in this country, because we are seeing an increase in frequency of this violence. And the reason why we are seeing an increase in frequency of this violence is because we have raised 2 to 3 generations of males across this country without the male life skills and male survival skills in order to navigate social situations. And because these males don't know how to function in the world of men, many of these men wind up falling apart, and they wind up escalating minor situations into major crimes. And that's what happened here on the campus of the University of North Carolina with Tai Lei-Chi. We had a boy who grew up to become a man in crisis, because while he was extremely book smart and was learning concepts like machine learning, he really didn't learn the basics about how to navigate social situations as a man. And we've got 2 to 3 generations of males out here like this who don't know how to navigate social situations that men have to do, because they grew up in a world of feminism that taught them that men and women are the same, but the world is completely different for a man, and a man has to navigate the world as related to how it works for men. But sadly, we've got 2 to 3 generations of males who don't know how to navigate the world the way a man is supposed to, and any man out here knows that they cannot sit here and whine about bullies and tattletales. No, a man has to go out here and confront those people and let them know that where the boundaries are for them. And when there are people who are bullying them or being tattletales, they have to take their respect as men. And that's sadly what Tai Lei-Chi didn't know how to do, because if he knew how to do this, he would not have put more important intangibles of his manhood at risk, such as his dignity, his self-respect, and most importantly, his freedom. this man basically was on the road to getting a doctorate, but because he got caught up in his emotions about his feel insecurity and jealousy about another man, he has gone from being a doctoral student who could have had a successful career to possibly being on the road to becoming an inmate who will definitely be a man in crisis, as he's turned out and there's stuff and egg rolls in his backside, and that's possibly what's going to happen to this dude. And again, this all because this man did not know how to function in the world of men, and because he didn't know how to function in the world of men, he wound up becoming yet another man in crisis. Now, if you want to learn more about what leads to a male winding up on into the dysfunctional life paradigm of a man in crisis and what leads to him participating in dysfunctional and extremely violent behavior, you can pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Man Crisis at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you'd like to see me do more videos about men in crisis, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.